welcome to another edition of HBCU Sports Live. I'm Kendrick Marshall, and I have a special guest with me today. It's Tuskegee Athletic Director Reginald Ruffin. Reggie is on our show today because, as you know, this past week, football schedules are kind of rolling in all across the country, and Tuskegee uh, this fall will play a very prominent football game. They'll take on the Grambling State Tigers September 7th. And the thing about that game is like it's going to be played in Grambling for the first time since 1949, which is 75 years ago, just shortly after World War II ended, a few years after the war ended. I have Reggie on to talk about how the game came about and kind of like the historical significance is it for Tuskegee to be playing against Grambling. So, Reginald, thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. And so, how did the wheels start to turn in motion to try to get this game between your school and Grambling off the ground?
Wow, man, Kendrick, thank you for having me on the show. Let me just say this. Normally as a coach, or excuse me, as an AD, you always get input from your coaches when we get have dialogues or conversation with other athletic directors in reference to scheduling. So my biggest thing for me is to sit down with my head coach, and we kind of thought about the idea when it was brought up by AD Scott from Grambling in reference to having an opportunity to play Tuskegee and put Tuskegee on the schedule. I went to Coach Aaron James, my head football coach, asked him what he thought about it. Because we played A&M this past season, and A&M was coming off the schedule, and we had an opportunity to play Grambling, which, the history between Tuskegee and Grambling goes way, 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 way back, and of a great relationship for these two premier institutions. And so when AD Scott gave me a ring and told we had an opportunity to possibly play this game in Grambling the first weekend in September, and I went to Coach James and asked Coach James, we don't run from fights, and will he be scared to playing these Grambling Tigers? And he said, "No, Coach. I would love to have that opportunity to play Grambling." He's got family members, relatives, and friends who played at Grambling and graduated from Grambling. And then this is great for our institution. You're talking about two premier HBCU magnitude or what significance that they have played in our history or being a part of history of our legacy in HBCU, and it gets no better than Tuskegee University and Grambling. And let me say, Kendrick, we are excited. Dr. Mars, when we signed that contract to play this game. So our fans are excited. We get a chance to do something or get a chance to go and witness the legacy of Grambling, which is, I'm a big fan of, God rest his soul, Eddie Robinson. I always wanted to make sure the way I coach, the way I act, the way I do things were because of what I saw at the conventions and at the clinics when Eddie Robinson talked to us, all of our young people, when we were trying to come up in the game of what to do. And so now we get a chance to play a game in Grambling. And, man, this is a good feeling to have, knowing that we're going to Grambling State to play a football game with Tuskegee D winning this HBCU and all of HBCU when it comes to football.
I like how you threw that last part in there. Had to do it. So had you ever been to Grambling before or experienced the campus or played football against Grambling in your career?
Well, I never played football against Grambling, but let me say this. In my last stop at Miles College, we used to go out and visit. We do what we call our professional development tour. We'll leave about 2 weeks. We used to go visit the Dallas Cowboys, the Houston Texans, SMU, North Texas, and the University of Texas. At that time, Charlie Strong was the head coach. And I just wanted our guys to have an opportunity to get better, and we do professional development. But the only stipulation I had with our coaches was when we were turning or when we came back, that we will always pay homage that we will stop and pay homage to, go see the Eddie Robinson Museum. And because I thought the world of Eddie Robinson as a coach and as a mentor. And so we had the opportunity for my staff to witness that legacy, to witness all that he has done for HBCUs. And every year we took that trip out to visit the Texas, the Texas trip, we called it professional development. We always stopped at Grambling. We always ate there at the local restaurant. We always came there to visit the museum, and ADs and the coaches always showed us love when we stopped through there. And we always went by the house and took picture of the old Cadillacs and the Mercedes that Coach Robinson had out there. And I think his son, one of his sons was actually living there at the house. And so it was good for us to get an opportunity to go somewhere and to relive the legacy and what all he meant for HBCUs.
So what's it going to be like when you take your football team there in about 7 months? What's it going to be like for you to be inside the same stadium on the same field that's named after Eddie Robinson?
Man, it's just going to be surreal for me to have an opportunity to stand, and sit in the bleachers and get an opportunity to walk down and the tracks that Eddie Robinson, what he's done for HBCUs and what he's done for football and what he's done for what I have called our African-American young men that he has touched the lives, and they're better fathers and husbands and better men and better pillars in the communities. And so we have an opportunity for our young men at Tuskegee University and our coaches. And we have an unbelievable and awesome coach in Coach James, for him to lead this pack and lead our guys to witness historic field of Grambling State, but more importantly, what Eddie Robinson, what he meant and what he brought to HBCU to the game.
So obviously, Grambling State is a Division I school, and Tuskegee, you guys are Division II. There's going to be some conversation about how does this benefit you guys from a football standpoint, playing at Grambling State, playing up, if you will. So what would you say to that?
Well, for me, is we are Tuskegee University and the Golden Tigers, and we don't bow down or back down from any fight. That's in our DNA, and that's why we are the winningest HBCU in terms of football. And for us, it's having an opportunity to deliver our brand. Our brand is nationwide, and so this going up against another team that has the same similarity when it comes to the brand, legacy in a Grambling State, and it gives our student athletes the same opportunity on a national scale and on a bigger scale. Yes, they have more scholarships. We only have 36; they have 63. But in this game, man, you get an opportunity to play and lace it up. And they put their pants on one leg at a time, just like we do. And we are Tuskegee University. And like I said, we won't back down from any challenge. And I just had the blessing of my head coach for this game, this magnitude, to play in this game. And he asked a few of the other players, how did they feel about this game? And our players were very excited. Student athletes were very excited because it's Grambling. And I just have to support, our coaches and our team and our student athletes.
As an AD, you have to deal with the business side of games like this. So is there a game guarantee along with this football game as well?
Well, Kendrick, don't be counting my coins, man, in my pocket. but Kendrick, anytime you get an opportunity to enhance our athletic program when it comes to revenue, game sharing or revenue from a guarantee, it gets an opportunity to support not just football, but we do a good job in getting our game guarantees, supporting all of our student athletes in all sports. We try to make sure that our gender equity, that our coaches' salaries in all sports, that it is up to par and it is compatible and the level that our coaches are having the opportunity to live and to come to work excited about being at work and not having to worry about the challenges. So we don't have very many challenges here. at Tuskegee University. We just want to make sure that we're doing right by our student athletes and our coaches.
So what you're saying, there is going to be one, but are you going to disclose the amount?
Yeah, we there will be a guarantee, but I will not disclose the amount.
Okay. That's cool. So my last thing for you is, Reginald, is I know like your football team has gone through a transition, with a new coach. Um, what will beating, Grambling, if that were to happen, do for the football program and the brand of Tuskegee football?
Well, let me say this. In the past, Tuskegee, even before I ever came here as an assistant coach and came back as the head coach and athletic director, we have always played up. We always play the SWAC schools or the MEAC schools and have an opportunity to continue to shine or let our brand be known to the world. So for us to have an opportunity, first, we don't want to overlook anything because we do have the Red Tail Classic as our first game. So we don't want to ever overlook an opponent. So I think our main focus is to get ready for the Red Tail Classic. And then, Kendrick, then have an opportunity the next second week or our second game is getting ready for Grambling. And like I say, we've been in this position before. Even when my time as the defensive coordinator, we beat the SWAC Western Division champs and the SWAC Eastern Division champs one year, and we consider ourselves the SWAC champs because we beat the East and the West. But and just having an opportunity to play above, your conference and Division II and playing the FCS and opponent, Division I opponent. It means a lot for us in terms of recruiting. It means a lot for us in terms of continuing to show our brand, what we're all about here at Tuskegee University. Our main goal is we educate, we dominate, we graduate, Kendra. That's what we tell our student athletes when they come here, that our motto is, and that they're coming here to a place where they're going to get a great quality education, man, coming to Tuskegee, and then get a chance to compete on the national level, man, where everybody gets a chance to witness and see the awesome of a football program or athletic program that we have here. And then, too, to take it on the road, to Grambling, man, to the stadium and where Eddie Robinson built, and to give our student athlete the time to go back to tell their children years from now and that they played with a legendary Eddie Robinson coach and played against Grambling State, the team that he coached, and I know Mickey Joseph well, and I think that he's going to have those guys ready to go, and I think Coach James is going to do a great job of getting our guys prepared and ready to go as well, Kendrick.
Yeah, Tuskegee, you guys have a very iconic, football facility yourself, and all the Black College football. Is there a chance that maybe Grambling could, do a return trip to Tuskegee, or is that in the works too?
Well, we had conversations about home and home, like a lot of the other FCS. Anytime when those FCS schools are much larger than Division II school, they always talk about, the facility. Can we hold the number of fans and all of that? So we don't have those issues that most Division II schools may have in terms of capacity. I think we can get them all in. Anytime we can get 30,000 at a homecoming, I know we can get that many. At a Grambling State, whomever football game, and so. But we have had conversation with home and home. But unfortunately, at this time, when we signed this one-year agreement, that was the only thing available because there were other schools also in the market of asking Tuskegee to have the opportunity to play Tuskegee in the game as well.
Okay. Well, there you have it. Tuskegee Athletic Director Reginald Ruffin explains how this game came together. Once again, Grambling State is going to play Tuskegee on September 7th in Grambling for the first time in 75 years. Reginald, thanks a lot for your time. I really appreciate it.
Oh, Kendrick, thank you guys, man. Y'all do an awesome job, and thank you for the love, my brother.
No problem. Anytime.
Yes, sir.